Hey, welcome back to It's a Metal Thing, final installment on this farmhouse handrail. So let's wrap this thing up. All right, so I'm at the handrail job. I brought the bottom post for the two bottom stairs. I'm gonna get those screwed in. Well, I'm gonna get those placed. First, this is going in. I gotta bolt it down where it's gonna go, measure it up. I gotta mark the holes, move it, pre-drill it, lag it down, and then I'm gonna do the same thing down here for these two, and then start fitting it. So I'm gonna do that first, I'll get back. I like it there, I'm gonna go get a way to mark it. So I get the post mounted where they're gonna go. There's a talk about where we're gonna put them. This was the best place to line everything up. That's bolted down. What I do is I take a piece of this 3/4 inch, I lay it on here. I put a mark where that lands and where this lands. So there's gonna be a 3/4 inch gap between the face of the stairs and the bottom rail. I just made that tab, screwed it into the wood. Up there is what I was telling you about earlier about how I put that metal backing in. This is drilled and tapped. The handrail is going to end up here. I'm letting this run long, so it's easy to tack. I'll cut that and square everything up later. Same thing with down here. So now we're getting ready to put the rails up. This top one's fit already. I just got to fit the bottom one, so that's happening next. All right, so handrail. I did this one the other day. I'm gonna start working on this one here. I'll show that how it goes. A couple things, I was smoking crack. When I put this on, it's in the way, so I'm gonna have to re-brace that. Another thing too, if you look, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is cocked. This thing's cocked. So I'm going to go ahead and do some pickets and re-brace it. And at the end, I'll cut. I'll leave it tacked on. I'll just cut this side because it's just tacked on here. And then when I make that cut with this blade here, it'll give a relief over here so I can just twist this thing and straighten it up. So it shouldn't move, but I'm going to put another brace in here, cut this one out, so I can get the pickets in, because this is in the way. Well, can't get it in there. So I laid this out, it ended up being right around 5 1/4. There's just no real good way to do this. You just got to measure and do it. Sometimes you get it like the first time, second time, sometimes like 3 times. Because really, it's just, it could be like on just one side of the line and not. I mean, literally, you know, it's 32nd of an inch times 10. You know, it adds up. So I'm gonna get everything going and get on it. I gotta be able to get to it, cut it off and grind it. So I gotta pay attention to where I'm gonna tack this in. Again, I'm gonna tack the top side because it'll be easier to access, to cut off and clean up. I'm going to cut this off so it's out of the way. So I have this one cut already, and it's close, real close. So I just use it as a guide for the next ones. Okay, so it's all tacked in. Happy with the spacing. Gonna go ahead and weld it up. When I get that welded, I'm gonna go ahead and cut these and straighten this up. And then when it's all said and done, I have to cut this height up here. So I'm gonna do that next. All right, so these are done. Cut the tops, everything's done, deburred, welded up, drilled a couple extra holes, they look good. I need to do a little bit of cleanup on here. There's an exposed seam that they were worried about. So I just grind that seam down and make it smooth. I didn't get it to the inside. On these, I have to weld a washer in here so they can hang for powder coat. It can stay or I'll break it off. Either way, it doesn't gonna do anything because if it's in the center, it's not gonna interfere with anything. It'll slide on there. So that's it. Gotta go to the powder coat. After that, install. So I'll see you then. Okay, so I just want to show you something real quick. I'm gonna grind this seam out. The homeowner said something about it, so I'm gonna get it out of there. The rest of them are inside. This one I missed. So like I told you, I try to keep the thing flat. This is a 50 grit on a 7-inch grinder. It's gonna grind out real quick and I'll show you the next step. So if you look, you can still see the seam in there, but I'm not grinding just the seam. I'm grinding the whole, width. I'm not like getting and just digging that out. I'm trying to keep it flat. So now when you get it reasonably flat and smooth, then I go slower. I don't move it as fast, and I go with lighter pressure. If you listen to the RPM change, I don't switch directions. I go and I let off at the end. And I start and I push. I don't like go back and forth. Try not to, because it'll leave like little dig marks in it. And then the real trick to get it super smooth or flat is at Harbor Freight, which I think everyone has, they sell this flat disc. It has a Velcro. You can get them smooth where you can use adhesive. They sell both kinds. The Velcro works better because when the adhesive heats up, when you're grinding like this, the disc will fly. So the Velcro works a little better. These were good because there's no nut in the middle, so you can go a little bit flatter. This is 80 grit. This was used. Gotta take care of my truck. Having truck issues, drivability, computer, pats, keys, it blows. So this is really close. I put a fresh disc on, it cuts nice, it cuts smooth, it cuts great. So I'm just gonna do a quick pass. So this is just a tutorial. I'm not going to do that good on the other one, but you can see it's flat and it's nice. Powder coat will cover these, no problem. If you went over with a 80 grit DA, it'd be money. So just finishing this up. I told you that before. I did some grinding, but I figured I'd just show you how I do a smooth grind with not a lot of grind marks. But you can see at the end here how rough it was and how rough it still is, but I'm not gonna worry about that. So, till next time. Okay, so I'm getting ready to go do the final install on the handrail. Just picking this piece up from the powder coat. I took the other two out already. It was too much to haul at one time. So it turned out pretty good. The powder coat's good. These are the caps. They turned out sweet. Weld a washer on the inside so they can hang them. So I'm hoping it fits over that powder coat. If you remember when I was building them, I put a little piece of cardboard on there to for a little bit of clearance. If not, I can take a razor blade to the inside and scrape some of that powder coat off. Here's another thing I wanted to show you that I do on the exposed bolts. So this is the, I don't know, it's called Midnight Black. This is stuff I buy at the local shop that sells it. This is the acid that they use for oxidizing brass and copper to age it at a chrome shop. So the good thing about it, though, is so these bolts that you see, it's a zinc bolt, and this stuff reacts really well to zinc. So it turns it black. It ends up drying. It ends up drying like a matte. The good thing about it is it doesn't chip off. I mean, it'll wear off. It'll wear off, but it looks good as long as they don't touch it. And the good thing is, if it's outside, eventually it'll, go away, but it doesn't rust because the zinc underneath. This is just turning the zinc. So the zinc is the rust prohibitor, and this just turns the zinc like it would if you did the same thing to copper or brass. It would do that exact same thing. This is full strength. So whenever I'm oxidizing something that I want to be not just completely black, I'll thin it down with water. So just a little tip. You can buy this stuff online. You can probably look up this. This is a Metal Plus finish, Midnight Black. It works good for oxidizing steel. Like it'll do it on steel too. I could probably show you. Let me dump it on here. See, so where it's ground through, I ground through into silver, it'll turn that black pretty quick. See? I don't know if it'll take or not, but see it starts to turn black? It takes a while for it to really take, but it'll oxidize it. See? So it does funky shit to metal, but it's not super durable. So you either gotta clear coat it or just not, get too carried away with something that's gonna rub. You can see. And actually what's happening here is this is actually eating the scale off. So the scale, this is almost like an acid, right? So the scale is coming off, it's eating the scale off and getting to the base color and turning it more of a copper color. If I keep going over it, keep going over it, keep going over it, keep adding it, it'll get blacker. So anyway, heading south, gonna install. I'll show you when it's done. All right, I was so excited about getting this thing installed. I actually didn't film any of the installation. So I have a little video that I took for Instagram. It'll show you the final part. But if you like the video, subscribe, and check me out on Instagram at It's a Metal Thing. I'll see you on the next one.